Hey, what's up? It's Rashad.
Madison.
Hang with the Joneses. Thor, Love and Thunder, spoiler review. Gotta talk about the thing to talk about the thing. We saw it last night, and we have feelings and thoughts. Of course, you need to be subscribed to the channel and liking the videos and stuff, and comment it. If you saw it, definitely comment. If you didn't see it yet, and you want it to be ruined for you, stay a while. I asked you your first impressions last night, and what did you say?
Top 10.
Say it louder.
Top 10.
Top 10 MCU. All right. I'm not sure if I'm quite there yet, but I was thoroughly entertained by Thor 4. And let's just where do we start? There's so much good things happen in this movie.
You start at the beginning where they introduce the villain.
Gore. So we have Gore, the God Butcher. Your boy is the last of his kind. It's him in this desert planet, and his daughter dies. He's praying to the god. I forgot the god's name. And
No, he was gold. He bled gold.
yeah, it was cool. He ends up going to this almost like oasis in the desert and sees his god chilling with some other gods. They're just out here, just having fun.
He started out water, took a little swim.
Yeah, and it
Saw some
was
fruit. Took a big chunk of that fruit, had seeds all on his face.
yeah. It was like a cantaloupe. So he was there, and the god was like, "Look at you." He called him man a dog, and he was like, "Why are you even here?" He said, "Man, yeah, we had to chase down this guy who had a necro sword. Of course, the necro sword is the magical MacGuffin of the movie, essentially, and the necro sword was made a long time ago, and it can kill gods." And for some odd reason, this god in all his hubris did not do anything to protect himself from the sword being wielded by Gore. And as it happens, the sword calls out to Gore. Gore picks the sword up.
He doesn't pick the sword up.
The
sword levitates to him.
I'm sorry. The sword, Thor hammer levitates to him. My bad.
Starts turning black. Shadows.
Yes. And he straight murked your boy. And that's how the movie starts.
Those little flower people too.
Yeah, I said the guys and other guys that were there too.
Yeah, but she didn't say the flower people.
Yeah, they were real looking. It was very interesting. The scene. Yeah. So that's how it starts. And as we saw from the trailers and stuff, but know what's going on. He's trying to kill all the gods. And he does a really good job of killing the gods too. Like he went on a murdering spree, you know what I'm saying, going all across the known universe, just killing gods left and right. And then you have Thor, who is essentially trying to find himself. Like he's out here just going on little missions with the Guardians of the Galaxy. Like he's there chilling with them. That he's like on the ship or whatever, just chilling, like kind of laying back, and then he comes in and swoops and like crushes everybody, like he's the hero, kind of just to give himself some good feels, those endorphins, and then he goes back to being sad again. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of where Thor is after Endgame, is he's really trying to figure out who he is and what he wants to be. So
I really liked how Korg was telling the story of Thor in the beginning, and then he did it in the end.
Yeah,
I like that.
Also, like how Korg, since he's telling Thor's story, is an unreliable narrator because the stories really aren't as it seems at all.
Jodie Foster.
Yeah. So like Thor being the unreliable narrator telling these stories to these kids that like every planet they go to is hilarious to me. So shout out to Taika Waititi. He did a really good job coming up with that one. And the main storyline to me is the Jane Foster storyline, ripped straight from the comics of the Mighty Thor run, when they have Jane being battled by cancer.
Stage 4.
Stage 4, found out 6 months ago. That's very detrimental if you know anything about cancer. So the setup is she has cancer. Her mother also had cancer too.
Elaine.
So what?
Elaine.
Elaine, mother Elaine. had cancer as well. So I'm not sure if it's some sort of like hereditary type thing. I'm not sure it's because she had the ether inside of her before that could have sped it up. But whatever reason, no, I'm saying she has cancer. But every time she grabs hold to Mjolnir, she's imbued with power. I thought you wanted to say something. Oh. So, so yeah, so she ends up like trying to figure out how to get rid of it. They're like, man, ain't not much we can do. Get your affairs in order. So she's like looking at Norse mythology and said, man, let me just go to New Asgard and just see what's up. So it goes to New Asgard. They actually have Mjolnir and his pieces like in this in this I guess display in like somewhere on New Asgard. Also, New Asgard has become a tourist attraction, which is hilarious in and of itself. You know what I'm saying? They got like whole like Avenger related things to do there. It's a whole thing.
The ice cream shop?
Yeah. You remember any of the names and stuff?
It was like Infinity something. The ice cream shop.
It's like Infinity Scoops?
Something like
that. It was hilarious, man. So that
the little ship that they used, it was definitely a roller coaster, and they were taking the seats out.
Yeah. So they had so she went there, and she said Mjolnir called out to her because when she got there, of course, Jane is worthy. She had worthy intentions, and her whole MO was like, yo, I want to help people. Like I want to make sure I'm of service. Because even you get a quick cameo from Darcy. Darcy shows up at the beginning, telling her to cool out, chill. You know what I'm saying? So it was cool to see Darcy again in the Thor side of things. And she's like, nah, but I got to keep going. She's trying to get back to the lab, trying to fix the file. I got a theory. You know, so Jane is really trying to do her best. And the cancer is literally just killing her. Now, she shows up with Mjolnir, and then we see the whole old school Thor setup happen. Thunder, swirling clouds, and then boom, we cut to the next scene. And I think the most, the best part of this movie to me is it had way more heart in it than I thought it would. Okay, because going into this, I'm like, how are they gonna really freak this without Loki? Because Loki is usually the one who is also like the heart of the film for Thor. Whether he's being adversarial or he's trying to be his brother, that tension has been like the through line. So having Jane Foster there and having her make Thor realize that, hey, like I'm still worthy and also I still have things to care for was great. Even the whole tension with how like they was joking on him the whole time because, you know, they split up. And that running joke was really it was really good, and it was very interesting just to see Thor be so vulnerable in this way that like it's kind of like a vulnerability that the character never had to really like have or like become or be, because even in Infinity War and Endgame, like Thor went from like, yeah, I'm gonna fix everything to I ain't trying to fix nothing, and I am depressed. And the only reason I really got back up was because, hey, y'all found a way to, you know, to handle Thanos.
Yeah.
And even all of that was just a temporary fix. Like that wasn't like the solution. Like we've actually found the resolution to this arc for Thor. You feel what I'm saying? So now he's essentially back to being a whole person. Does that make sense? Yeah, I know I went kind of therapy on you, but that's kind of where his whole story arc is for this. I'm talking too much. What else you got?
I don't know. I forgot. I was listening to you.
I'm sorry. What else did you like about Thor?
I don't know. It was overall good.
You're such a help.
I can't think of anything now.
Oh man. preparing for this all day. And you went blank. All right. So let's go back to let's go back to Gore. Did you like Gore as a villain?
Yeah.
Explain.
I know that sounded like a bit indecisive.
Yeah, it really did. Are you indecisive?
I don't know. He was a good villain in a way. He wasn't like really a villain, you know. He was killing people, but like not in the villain way.
Right.
Just like revenge way.
Yeah. So I guess he did have like a very much revenge plot. My okay. So let's just kind of fast forward to what's going on. So at New Asgard, and the scene from the trailer where Thor and Jane Foster Thor meet up is when New Asgard is being attacked by Gore. Now Gore has his ability through the Necrosword to like summon these like random monsters and stuff.
Shadow monsters. Yeah,
shadow monsters with his sword, and they're like wreaking havoc on the town, and it's all a diversion because Gore is trying to get, because like at the beginning of that scene, you see a little black kid in bed, another kid in bed. Like, why are they showing the kids in bed? You know what I'm saying? Like, they're asleep. So that's what his goal was to snatch up all the kids in New Asgard and take them back to whatever planet he was on.
The
Shadow Realm. And I liked how they did that because, okay, the thing I like about how this movie is written is like there really weren't any wasted scenes. Like everything pretty much had a purpose, even if it was like a joke or just like a running gag. Like I'm be honest, like every time them goats made that crazy noise, I laughed because they stuck with the gag every time. Even when they went to the Shadow Realm and they landed on the side of the planet like that and they made that noise, I still laughed. You know what I'm saying? Because it was committed to the joke. All right. So when they snatch all the kids up, right, and they send them to the Shadowland, and we find out that the black kid is really Heimdall's son. You know what I'm saying? And what was his name?
Axel.
That's
the name he chose for himself.
What was the name that his dad gave him?
I don't even know.
Yeah, it began.
All I can remember was Axel, and they just kept going back and forth.
Yeah, because it began with like an A2, right?
Yeah.
Like Asdal, or it was some weird name, and it was definitely going back and forth, and it was cool to see. Oh my god, yo! Like they was planting seeds. Like Taika Waititi, he did such a good job, yo. Like he was planting seeds about the ending the whole time. So even when like he's trying to talk to the kids, he's trying to form some sort of understanding and relationship with them, because you know he's Thor. He never had to deal with no kids. When last time you seen Thor deal with a kid in a movie? Never. So he's trying to understand how to talk and relate to these kids and also motivate them, but still with the understanding that they're like from like maybe 5 to like 15, 16 at best. And trying to calm them down and stuff. Because the first time he talks to them, it was the most horrible pep talk ever. You know what I'm saying? He said, hey, man, y'all might... Basically told them that y'all might die. And then left. You know what I'm saying? For all intents and purposes, he gave them kids no hope. But then, like, the second time... Oh, yeah, because Heimdall's kid knows how to do the whole, like, see everywhere in the universe thing that Heimdall did. Because Heimdall taught him. You know what I'm saying? And Thor kind of helped him out with that as well, so he can show up where he was, and they could see kind of like that they were in the Shadow Realm. Like that part for me was like it was so fulfilling, because we know like they really did Idris Elba a little bit wrong. Like they could have definitely made him a more integral part of the MCU, even though they did bring him back in the end credit. I even appreciate Idris Elba coming back to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because like after Endgame, from what I'm hearing, like he was done with the MCU. Like he wasn't doing nothing else. You know what I'm saying? So him coming back at the end just to greet Jane Foster because she dies, and into Valhalla, like that whole scene was like really good because I was not expecting them. Like I said, yo, so Rene Russo gonna show up? I know Sir Anthony Hopkins not gonna show up, but like to get Heimdall to come back, like that was really cool. Also, did you see how they dissed the Warriors 3? The Warriors 3. So that's no, remember at Thor 1 and 2, like Thor's boys, like he was with, like they had the big dude, like the kind of dude that was kind of like almost like he was like a samurai type, and the other guy, you don't even remember them, do you? Remember the dudes that got killed at the beginning of Thor Ragnarok that was in there where Heimdall usually has like his swords he can like for the Bifrost, and they got killed really fast. You still don't remember? Dang! And that's how they treated them in the movie. Because there was recapping like everybody who died. They was like, yeah, mom died, this guy died, that guy died, this guy died too. It was the Warriors 3. So that's why I was laughing, yo. Like, if you like a really MCU fan, like there's so many good callbacks the entire time. So many callbacks. All right, so what do you think about...
You just implied that I'm a bad MCU fan.
No, I just implied that you be forgetting stuff. You know what I'm saying? And plus, when like Thor 1 and Thor 2 came out, especially Thor 1, you were like... What year was you born? 09? Yeah, he was like 1. So I won't expect you to remember that old stuff. You know what I'm saying? I expect you to watch that. So,
I watched Thor Dark World. That's what I remember.
Yeah. There was some Thor Dark World too, but like, you know, that was a hard watch. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, Malekith.
Yeah. Very great.
Yeah, very great.
I remember that whole movie was just great to me.
Yeah, it was. It was very washed out. That was the MCU aesthetic very early on. Keeping it real gray. But the part that okay. What's your favorite part of the movie?
The end.
All right, wow. You can't you have to explain. This is how this works. I ask you a question, you answer the question, and you explain why.
I don't know. It's just really just heartwarming.
Yeah, it was.
And then like it even gave the title meaning.
It did. Also, the fact that, and this was a huge thing too. So when they dropped, like, yeah, we got to go see. When okay, oh yeah, they also went to omnipotent land. Omni mean all, potent mean powerful. So all powerful land, and went and see all the gods, and they went and saw Zeus as well. Zeus is hilarious because it's Russell Crowe, who's Australian, playing a Greek dude with a really, really funny Greek accent. Not like funny haha, like funny weird. Anyway, Zeus is, to put it lightly, Zeus is an ass.
I really appreciate his whole like little baton thing with his thunderbolt.
Yeah, he was really like out here acting like he was like a high step majorette, like just twirling that thing. I said, "Look at you, you better." Like
he turned around and catched it.
Yeah, you better go, girl. He's like, he put on a whole little show, and yeah, it was some real funny moments with that, and even how like Thor was really trying to plead to him. He was like, "Fam, like, hey, like you can't be trying to do that in front of everybody, yo. So like, how about you just chill out? You can stay here.
Put your clothes back on."
Yeah, put your clothes back on. Yeah, because definitely he was cheeks out in the movie. So, doesn't apply. They end up snatching his thunderbolt, and it's a like very hilarious scene. Cause Valkyrie, and it's funny because like Valkyrie and Jane are just on go the whole time. Like they just want to fight and kill everything the entire movie. And Thor's like, hey guys, hold on, because usually like that was Thor's MO. We're just gonna like we're gonna beat people up and ask questions later. You know what I'm saying? They gonna kick ass and take names and kick ass. You know what I'm saying? Like that was his whole MO. So seeing Thor trying to be the voice of reason was like funny.
So it was his hero and all.
Yeah, because like he was fanboying out over Zeus. You know what I'm saying? Like that was that whole.
He tried to catch one little thunderbolts when it spread.
Oh man, that was hilarious, yo. Like, there's so many good moments like that. All right, so there's I do like how when they go to the Shadowland, everything just turns black and white, and the only time it illuminates to any sort of color is when when it was cool because Jane illuminated Mjolnir, and made it into a light. Like I don't remember that one that could do
that.
that. That was cool. So everywhere she had a light on, like it would actually like color would show back up.
The way she used it was cool because she like broke it up into pieces and used it as weapons.
Yeah. That was very cool. How she used the pieces of Mona as a projectile, and it still came back together as a whole piece. Because you know what I'm saying, just like the broken pieces of her. You know what I'm saying, being sick and everything, still being able to help everybody else. There's so much theme and allegory in here. So much. You know what I'm saying? So much. All right. What else happened? Valkyrie is bored being king. She hates it. A lot of just bureaucracy and stuff. And we got another funny play. Yo, the play they did for who was it? It was Loki.
Loki, the dad, and Thor.
Yeah, Loki, dad, and Thor when Odin dies on the cliff. Like
the gold.
Yo, like that scene, and they're going, oh yeah, you have a sister. And Melissa McCarthy ends up being hella. Like, I don't even care for Melissa McCarthy as an actress, but like that surprise was hilarious, yo. Like, it was funny. And even Matt Damon still being in the film later on, talking about like after Gore came and snatched up all the kids, can they do a play about that?
So I didn't hear no.
Like he like still there, yo. Like that, like again, the gag, they keep it going, like they kept it going, yo. Like and like it was, I appreciated that. All right, let's get to this ending. And this is my favorite part. Because Thor having the wherewithal, because again, he is Thor Odin's son. So Odin's abilities are within him now. All right. So if people want to act stupid, like, oh yeah, I don't understand like how he did it with the kids. Like that's how he did that. So the worthy enchantment, he basically made all the kids worthy.
I really appreciate how they made it a tree, like a family tree, all the kids, and then at the end he got a kid, like family.
Yeah. Also, the like the tree is also representing the 9 realms as well. Like back in Thor 1, like that's how they show the 9 realms is like a tree. Yeah, because you didn't see Thor 1. So yeah, that was cool. And how the kids was out here wrecking shop too. Like I loved it. Like I don't know, man. Like
that one small little curly headed girl using her little rabbit.
Yeah, using her stuffed animal. Like it was, oh man, it was great. And then Eternity. So the cool thing about Zeus was like, yeah, yo, like they're not gonna be able to reach eternity. And it was like eternity, reach eternity. It's like, yeah, he can't get there.
He doesn't have the key.
Doesn't have the key.
The key is Stormbreaker though.
Stormbreaker is the key. So essentially, using Stormbreaker as a high. How can I say this? You basically use Stormbreaker's Bifrost abilities to open the door for Eternity. Now, Eternity in the comics is a very like large looming figure, and I was like kind of wondering like how they were going to do it to scale for a movie, but conceptually, I appreciate what they did. You feel what I'm saying? Because it almost looks like they're, you know what it reminds me of? That scene, it reminds me of on Mugen Train when they went to the sleep realm with the people who were like on the train who was like trying to get people in their dreams. When Tanjiro when they went into Tanjiro's mind, and that's what his like his world looked like. It looked like just like a sky. And like basically like that's what it reminded me of.
They did the same thing in Tokyo Ghoul.
Yeah, that's what it reminded me of. It reminded me a lot of anime vibes with that joint, and then how Eternity still has the same like look and motif as the Celestials, as all the stuff from Thor Ragnarok, like how like when they went to Like I was saying, the planet they went to. The trash planet that had on the Grandmaster and all that, like all the motifs from that, like it looks the same. Like, all that Jack Kirby inspired art, like they basically that's how they had Eternity look, and then inside of Eternity itself was like galaxies and stars and stuff within it. So essentially, you can ask Eternity whatever it is you want, and Eternity will grant it to you. So Eternity is like the ultimate wishmaster. And he was gonna just
kill our gods.
Yeah, he was gonna ask that. And then there was a sort of I forgot. And the Necro Sword itself will also kill whoever is wielding it. Like, it's gonna eventually corrupt them, and they're gonna die. So Jane and Gore basically had this same through line. You know what I'm saying? The entire time. So there was some parallelism there. It's like poetry, it rhymes with those two characters, and I did appreciate that too. So he then they pleased him like man, you can't kill everybody, yo. He said, man, it would be disrespectful if I didn't do this for my daughter. Like what about her? So he ends up doing like a very I wasn't expecting this. Like he ends up asking Eternity for his daughter back. Boom, gets his daughter back, knowing, and then this is the part that was really tripped me out. I was like, yo, why he ask for his daughter back knowing he's going to die? You know what I'm saying? Ask for his daughter back and then tells Thor to take care of his daughter.
Because they saw the little whole scene where Thor was holding her Jane like this.
Yeah.
Nodded him.
Yeah, and Thor, he also saw how Thor came back and protected and took care of all those kids too. You know what I'm saying? So that whole storyline with that, I was like, oh, so that's, y'all almost got me with that, yo. Like that was really good. And then Jane dies, like we said earlier. Jane dies too because she came back to help. It was like, yo, you can't help no more. Like, nah, her willingness to want to be to assist and help was greater than to her, like her own life, which was also great. And the fact that she was also became so worthy that she even and lost in battle. I mean, that died in battle. She actually went to Valhalla herself, which was cool because, I wasn't expecting her to go to Valhalla. I thought she was gonna, just die.
And she died like Odin, all gold.
Yeah, just dissipate into the ether. Yeah. I think that's really it, man. Got a mid-credit scene. Zeus ain't die, so Zeus gonna come back, and we get Hercules next time. I don't know why you putting his hair on me. So we get Hercules. So Hercules gonna be in the MCU, which was rumored 2-3 years ago. And then, like I said before, at the post credit you have Heimdall, one Idris Elba with shorter locks. They should have just cut them all off, but anyway. Greeting Jane into Valhalla. So this was a really good movie, man. This was really good.
I feel like you should talk more about the time with Love and Thunder.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you. Oh yeah, so yeah, thanks for reminding me. So Love and Thunder, all right, the name of the movie. Essentially, at the end, we see Thor trying to be dad. So we got Dad Thor, and we have Gore's daughter, and they're living together.
She's making pan flaps.
Making pan flaps. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and what's your boy name? Korg, who's just a face now, was a face and grew his body back, which is creepy and weird to me. Also mating with another Cronin.
We didn't even talk about that. I
Yeah.
love how he explained how he was born.
Yeah.
That he was just holding hands out lava for a month with another guy.
Yeah. Yeah, so he's going to have a kid too, which is all.
Had a mustache. I didn't know the Rock should have a mustache.
It was really weird looking. Anyway, he's monologuing again and talking about how, oh yeah. And they're together. She's upset. It's like, yo, I don't want to wear the boots. I want to wear my shoes. You know what I'm saying? It's little fluffy little, like, basically, like, house slipper things. And he's like, nah, put the boots on, yo. And then he references back to his mom. So it's like a nice little, like, we at the house scene. But they really not at the house. They're on a ship. And then the next scene, we see both of them go out. She has Stormbreaker. He has Mjolnir. And they go into battle. So it was real cool to see his daughter being able to be powerful as well. So yeah, man.
Had little eye lasers.
Yeah.
It's purple.
Yeah, it was good, man. Really good movie. I'm glad I'm going back to see this again today.
I would watch it again in theaters.
Yeah, I'm going back to see this again today. If you haven't seen it and we ruined it for you, hey, I hope we explained enough. But that's really all I have now. Anything else you want to add?
Trying to think. I think that's it. I think we went over basically everything.
There's so many. It's so many little things. You know what I'm saying? Like so many small callbacks. Oh yeah, another funny scene was Valkyrie having that little that little wireless speaker playing random like black pop music the entire time. Oh, that jump was so funny. Yeah, play Mary J. Blige. What else did she play at first, yo? It was dang, I forgot what it was, yo. Some random.
I feel like it was CLC
or Eve. Like I don't remember. Either way, like she was definitely playing, like definitely jamming to all the black female 2000s music, like early 2000s music, which was hilarious. Early mid 2000s. Anyway, yeah, that's really it. Subscribe, man. Subscribe to the channel. It's gonna be fun editing this. All right, yo. That's all I got. Till next time.